Alright guys, this is Rogue Mystic Divination with a weekly for the collective for January 25th through the 31st. If it's for you, take it how you need to. I guess leave it if it doesn't work for you, and it's been a minute, so it'll take me a minute to get back into the grip of this, but sound should be okay. And I do have regular tarot cards, which are these right here, some angel oracles, and some macabre or midnight oracle cards, so we'll get everything in the mix until it feels like we need to stop. So this is for the collective, and we're starting out this week with the last week of January with the Fool. A new beginning is coming in, and even if it doesn't start this week, you could be getting your ducks in a row in order to start it for February. It's very likely that you start off on one path and find yourself on another one because the one that looked attractive just did not work out for one reason or another, and it's almost as though you may need to sacrifice your long-term vision in order to get the success that you need to move forward. Just because something doesn't immediately flow into the result that you want doesn't mean it's not getting you where you want to go. And that was the Seven of Pentacles, so in reverse. Don't be distracted by your long-term goal. That's the main message with that card in the reverse, because if you're putting in like the small steps and you're not immediately getting that big payout that you want, it's because you need to continue taking the small steps towards what it is that you want. And with this other path that you started out on and you ended up someplace else, working on something else entirely, I think that's why your actions got recalibrated to this other thing. You were taking too big of steps in order to get to where you wanted to go with that other path, and it's like, okay, this is done, like section 1, 2, 3, 4. Like maybe that you were just seeing it as 4 steps, and once you got through step 1, it's like, okay, and now step 2 is not going to work out. So you start doing these tiny side projects, side quests. It's almost as though these side quests are taking you to focus on the main storyline of whatever it is that you're dealing with, wherever it is that you want to be in the long term. And of course we've got the Five of Swords in the reverse, so it's likely that you're looking at what you had to do in the past and why you had to do it. Maybe even blaming yourself for it, because these swords all do appear to be facing this guy right here. And I feel like that's you. And like everybody else left you with the idea, like their bad ideas, their unfinished projects, their responsibilities, and had this idea that you need to be the one to deal with it because, well, this isn't the problem anymore. You were kind of left holding the bag. And as much as you may want to reconcile, it seems like it may have been the other person's plan all along to kind of leave you with the idea of a relationship, the idea of a project, the idea of how something was supposed to work out, and then leave you with all the responsibility too. Because again, with the swords, if we look at the pages have to like kind of carry around the swords for the knights, carry around their equipment to help to maintain it. And that's their primary responsibility, is learning how to maintain the knight's livelihood or day-to-day task for them. And that's what happened to this person. Everyone has handed off all these plans, all these ideas to them, and like they were set up to think that this was going to be like a job training program, a lifelong kind of career that was supposed to sustain them, and all you got left with was the responsibility that nobody else wants to deal with. And because you have the desire to forgive, the desire to get past all of this, it doesn't mean that they want to come back, that they want to have all of this connection with you, because they got what they wanted. They got what they wanted, and their entire desire may have been to, not for a relationship, but to leave their responsibility with somebody else. And I'm getting a big, some of this energy of maybe leaving a child with someone, and like they didn't want the responsibility. Like, it sounded fun, but yeah, this is a lot of work, so I'm just going to leave this over here, and it'll work out. It'll be fine. So even though you may have a desire to forgive them, it doesn't mean that they, that you could be the child that they walked away from. Like, it wasn't too hard. They just wanted to go do something else, so they left their responsibilities somewhere, and well, they gave it up, so it's not their problem anymore, right? 9 of Pentacles. Now, my entire deck is not in reverse. This is just how this is meant to come out for one reason or another, so take the energy as it comes. Sometimes the cards are in a more positive energy whenever they are in reverse, so please keep that in mind. We have self-worth with the 9 of Pentacles. I don't think it's so much that you've been living beyond your means, but rather the means that other people have slated for you. What other people may have been willing to give you, whether it's emotionally or financially, it could have been the bare minimum, or they may have put all their responsibility on you. Again, more with this kind of energy. You're trying to look towards the long term, but what you're feeding into may not be giving you, may not be able to give you back what you think it is. Like, paying into an investment scheme or property, some kind of investment that takes your time and money, and well, the other person makes it sound good, everything is in their name, there's no contract, you don't have your end of the responsibility kind of covered. Like, you're not a part of the contract. You're taking them at their word, and do not take them at their word. If there's ever been something that says make sure you have it in writing, make sure you have it in on ink, that you have a copy of that, it's going to be this set of cards, because you have a new beginning. You have a long-term investment that you're trying to feed into, but there could be someone on the back end kind of chipping away at it and putting that money someplace else that you're not aware of. With the 5 of Swords, and we have a cat that's about to get into the middle of the cards, because that's what she does. And it could take somebody else coming in and saying, hey, this whole situation is a shambles and your ass isn't covered. You could be too focused on the work and not focused on what all this work is based on. And she just totally redirected my energy towards that, so it's likely that a third party is going to be over there saying, hey, and then this card comes out, the 4 of Cups comes out. What about this bit of information? Why do you want to be everywhere that you're not supposed to be? Um, this third party could be coming in to say, like, hey, you're comfortable with this, and I don't think that you should be. You could be too disconnected from reality because of the emotion that you have invested into this other person, your hopes and desires for a relationship, or how something is supposed to be, or was supposed to be. And I'm getting that back again. A kind of feeling back again with, it could be a parent that left a child behind, and even though the child is willing to reconcile, or the parent is willing to reconcile, it's likely whoever it is that was left holding all the responsibility, even though they weren't able to hold it up, they weren't able to carry it all. Yeah, these other two energies could be coming in and trying to say, well, what about this now? And it's only to do the same thing over and over again. If you feel like you're exhausted this week, that's why you've taken on too much responsibility that shouldn't be yours in the first place. Yeah, and now I gotta say, Happy Cat over there on a box, she's fine. She doesn't care about this anymore. Like, she just had to put her input there, and now she's fine. Do not feel bad if you find yourself in this position of being overprotective of what you have, who you are. There's a reason why you're being triggered. There is, and don't shy away from what it is that's triggering you. Acknowledge what's happening, acknowledge where that's coming from, and what's putting you in this position. And that fell out of the deck. So with the King of Pentacles, it's a good card to have in the upright. Even if you're not aware of this wealth that you have right now, there's a certain amount of security that you have that these other energies around you might not. You may even have an inheritance coming towards you that you are unaware of, that they know about. And it's important to acknowledge that you don't know everything about this person's backstory, where they're coming from, what triggered them to come towards you, and that this is a very sudden change for them. It's like not seeing anybody after 27 years and they just suddenly decide to pop up. And two cards just flew out together. Now keep in mind that these were face down. This is the Magician. And I don't believe that this poor planning is on your part. I think this is on their part. They may have underestimated you and how much you knew. They're playing on narcissism. They're playing on believing that they can manipulate things to go in their favor. But I do feel like they're going to end up leaving the situation as soon as it becomes too much work for them. As soon as they're not getting what they want, they don't know where to put their energy in a situation. Like, all of the love and care and desire to know about this, know about you, could fly out the window because, I mean, it's the Knight of Swords and he is facing the future. He is getting out of Dodge and does not care about the consequences that he's going to leave anybody else with. So he comes in looking like he's prepared, but he's also coming in having driven himself to the event himself. And this could be a man or a woman. They got themselves there, and they're going to make sure that they can get themselves out of Dodge at the drop of a hat if they want to. They want to be able to disappear out of a situation because they're coming in knowing that there's a big chance that they're not going to get everything that they want out of this. And as soon as that's obvious, as soon as this other energy, which is most likely you, makes it pretty clear that they see through them, that you see through them, they're going to get out before they can kind of get called on it to their face. So now I'm going to move on to, there's one more card that needs to come. You know what? This is the bottom of the deck, so that's how I'm going to show it. You've got the Strength card. Any strength that you have right now, keep it close to your vest. keep it close to your vest and do everything you can to keep from falling into the idea that you need to show what you have, show what you know, show what you can do, because it's going to be important that you leave the other people involved in the situation guessing. It'll sow more self-doubt in them the less they know about what you are capable of doing. Because they're coming in with this idea that, well, the querent has this, you have this, you have that, and you can give me that. And it's not going to hurt you. Well, if you got it there, then you can get it again, and it shouldn't be any skin off of your back. But they don't care about what kind of work you put in. They don't care about what it costs you. And you need to remember that. So, and not all prices are obvious, right? Not all consequences are obvious to those that are looking in at your situation. Like, they can't see that you worked, 14 days straight, or that you worked, double shifts for 3 months straight. They don't count that as a sacrifice because they weren't the ones sacrificing for that. And for our Midnight Oracle cards we have for this week, we've got the Eternal Serpent. I like snakes. I don't have a problem with them, so I'm going to say this is more about your own eternal divinity. Because we have that energy of, like whenever we're looking at not the Kundalini, but the energetic pathways, you'll see them represented as a snake that's kind of curling up and around your chakras and then back down. So wherever your energy has gone before, it will continue to come back to that. Even if you feel like you're in a low energy state right now, you will come back to that more active place. You just have to give yourself time to come back to it. It's about cycles. It's about allowing things to run their course and knowing that it will come back. And it's not coming back on demand. And it really is reiterating that strength card. It's like, if you find yourself in a low energy or a place of less than right now, it's for a reason. It's because it's almost as though the universe sees that this person is coming in trying to see what they can get from you. And if it looks like you have nothing, or if it looks like you have less than what's worth them moving on, then it's going to be to your benefit. If they saw something they could get from you, they would take it, one way or another. And then we have the Infernal Pact. This is more about you making that promise to yourself and sticking to it. Like, you made a promise to yourself a while ago that if this person comes back, you're not going to deal with them, no matter what their story, no matter what the issue is, and keep to that promise that you made to yourself. Even though with the Mask of Truth coming out, you may desire for them to be back in your life, you may desire to be a part of this, you know what it's covering up. You know what their issue is, you know why they're coming back all of a sudden. So don't lie to yourself. And it's likely you're not going to be able to lie about it anyway, because it's the Mask of Truth. It's likely that you're going to be unable to lie about where it is that you're coming from and why you don't want to have anything to do with whatever it is that they're feeding into you right now. And for our angel card for the week, we have crystal clear intentions. Archangel Michael, be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. So thank you guys for tuning in, and look for the other readings. I'm coming back to dailies in February.